Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to jump into some deep core exercises, some very basic, very beginner moves. Coming down onto our backs to start. And again, if getting down onto the ground is not comfortable for you, totally you can use a bed to start if that's where you're at. Use what you have and do what you can. So, lying flat on our back, we're going to have our arms down to our side and our palms up towards the sky. So we want to tuck our shoulder blades underneath us to help open up the chest. And from here, we're just going to take a few breaths. So tuck the chin down into the chest, lengthen those muscles in the back of the neck nice and long. We're going to inhale through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. We inhale through the nose. Exhale out your mouth, and I want you to imagine like you're blowing through a straw. So we inhale, fill your lungs completely. Exhale, blow all that air out of your straw until you have no more left in you. Inhale and exhale. One more like that. Good, and just relax for 1 second. So we're going to bring focus to our belly here while we breathe now. So when we inhale, it's very common that you might or you may see lots of people inhale and let their chest and their belly rise, and then their belly sink in here. So when we do that, we have very minimal engagement of our tummy muscles. Our diaphragm's not really dropping down. We're just sucking in, and we're using a small portion of our lungs. So this next one is going to help with A, bracing our core and keeping movement safe for us, and 2, utilizing more of your lung function. So arms down to your side. Again, shoulders are tucked underneath. And we're just breathing here again, guys. But this time, when we inhale, we're going to try to get our belly to rise up to the sky. And then when we exhale, we're going to imagine there's a drawstring around our waist, or we have a corset on, and we're squeezing that air out, and we're activating the tummy muscles. So we inhale through our nose. Try to let the belly rise to the sky. Your chest still will rise a little bit. That's okay. This exhale, now start to pull the belly button down towards the ground and try pulling your front ribs in together. So we inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly button down and up. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly goes down. And imagine pulling your belly button up to your head. Let's do 3 more like that. So we inhale. Exhale through our straw. We imagine having that corset on or a drawstring around our waist. Let's do 2 more. One more. Perfect, and a little rest. Another little breathing one here for you guys. This time, when we inhale, same thing, we're going to let our belly rise to the sky. Exhale, we're going to imagine the belly button pulls down towards the ground and up, and then our front ribs here pull together. And then I want you to imagine that you're lifting your pelvic floor up towards your head as well. So we inhale, belly rises. Exhale, we slowly start to squeeze those tummy muscles. Belly button's going down and up. Front ribs are coming together. And you're imagining pulling that pelvic floor in and up as well. So we inhale, our belly rises. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Pelvic floor comes up, belly button comes up. Let's do 4 more. Three more. Two more. And 1 more. Perfect, take a little rest. Our next breathing, we're gonna do the exact same thing. This time I'm gonna get you to bring some focus to our spine and our pelvis here. So in a neutral pelvic position, in a neutral spinal position, we're going to have a gentle curve in our low back, which is our lumbar lordosis. And then our pelvis, how we know that we're in a neutral pelvis position, is that our pubic bone and both of our hip bones are level. So if I put a board here or something circle and put a level on it, it would be nice and level and flat. So an anterior pelvic tilt is when we're going to drop our pubic bone down towards the ground and our hip bones are going to lift up. That right there is going to create a bigger arch in our low back. That's an anterior pelvic tilt. We would come back to neutral. Our pubic bone and our hip bones are level. And then a posterior pelvic tilt is when we flatten our back into the ground. My pubic bone lifts and my hip bones drop down. And now my pubic bone sits higher than my hip bones. And then coming back to a neutral position, we'll be in a neutral level position here. We're in a neutral spine. So now, starting in a neutral position, so our hip bones and our pubic bone are nice and flat and level. We're going to take a deep breath in, let our belly rise to the sky, and this time we're going to actually drop our pubic bone and try to arch our back a little bit. Let our belly rise to the sky. So we're in an anterior pelvic tilt. And then you're going to exhale, start to slowly lift the pubic bone up. Drop your hip bones down towards the ground and pull your belly button down towards the ground, and pelvic floor is lifting up towards your head. So we inhale, let the belly lift. Everything gently relaxes here. Exhale, pull past neutral into a posterior tilt where we flatten that back down. Our hip bones drop and our pubic bone lifts. We inhale, arch away. Exhale, flatten out. So let's do 4 more here. And it is totally normal that your head will nod up and down here as we do our pelvic tilts. We're doing 1 more. Inhale, we arch away, drop the pubic bone. Exhale, lift the pubic bone, flatten the back down, pull that belly button down and up. Pelvic floor lifts up as well. Inhale, come back to a neutral position. So halfway between our arch and our flat, so that our pubic bone and our hip bones are nice and level. And the last one for the day, guys. We're going to continue with our breathing and our pelvic tilting that we've built onto here. And now we're going to focus on the pressure on our feet while we do this. So it is easy to push in to my feet to get my pelvis to do the work to get into an anterior and a posterior tilt. But what you want to learn to do is to let those deep core tummy muscles do the work for you. So having your arms down to your side, or you can totally have them on your hips to give you a little bit of feedback here as well. We're going to take a deep breath in through our nose. We're going to come into an anterior pelvic tilt where our pubic bone drops, our hip bones lift, and my back has a bigger arch in it here. On the exhale, we're going to try not to press into the feet now to flatten our back down to the ground. So our feet are still going to stay on the ground, but I want you to imagine like you have scales under your feet and the pressure is going to stay the same in those feet the whole time. So we exhale, we have to start to pull our hip bones up towards our head, slash down towards the ground, and lift our pubic bone up towards the sky and towards our head. And then you're going to push the tailbone down towards the ground and towards our feet to drop the pubic bone. Let the hips lift, the hip bones lift, and the back arch away. So exhale, you're pulling the tailbone up towards your head. The pubic bone rises up to the sky. Our hip bones drop. So the pressure in the feet, I'm not crushing in my feet, so I shouldn't shift my weight up into my upper body too much here. I'm staying very heavy in my pelvis, lots of weight here on the back side of my pelvis. So again, if I had those scales on my feet, the pressure wouldn't change in those scales here. All this effort is coming from my deep core tummy muscles. Let's try 5 more. Lift that pelvic floor. Inhale, let the belly button rise, arch the back. Exhale, pull the pelvic bone up to the sky. Pelvic floor lifts, front ribs draw together. Inhale, we arch away, let the belly button rise up. Again, no pressing into the heels. Go for 3. And as you pull those hips up, you want to imagine that they're both coming up at the same time. So we don't want to let one hip hit the ground first before the other, or else we're now in a sideways position here where we're tilting our pelvis. We want to keep everything nice and level, going forward and back, no side to side yet. So we inhale, let's do 2 more because I keep talking. And 1 more. No pushing into the feet. This is all our deep tummy muscles doing the work. And come back into a neutral position where our hip bones and our pubic bone are nice and level. And just let your knees sway side to side. Alrighty guys, so there is some basics on incorporating our breath into our deep core engagement and becoming familiar with the movements of our pelvis. So we're going to continue to build off of that. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would share it with a friend and let me know if there's anything that you're looking specifically for that I could maybe help you out with. Thanks guys, and have a lovely day.